Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Occasional Levity on Unsafe Space. I'm Beverly, and I brushed my teeth a few minutes ago, and my toothbrush slipped from my teeth onto my nose somehow. But now my nose feels really refreshed, so win-win. Today is October 21st, 2022. Our guest today is Adam Coleman of Wrong Speak Publishing. But first, let me bring on my co-host, my ladies in waiting, Alex and Juliet.
Why, hello, guys.
Hello.
Things are starting great. Yeah.
2 words out and already like I said, I brushed my teeth and I failed at it, so I just don't even know how it happened. I was really surprised though. I'm like, how did it like slip out of and I had toothpaste all over my nose. I'm like, I don't have any idea. And then I was just like feeling it burn up into the nostrils.
Oh gosh.
So it's clean.
I thought you were gonna say you do what I always do, where you're like doing it too fast and aggressively, and then you just jab yourself really hard, and you're like, "Oh my god, okay, I'm doing this my whole life. It's fine."
You gotta go slow and gentle, methodical. Oh, is it too soon for innuendo? Okay. Well, how are you guys doing?
Good. It's not freezing here today, so I've been
same.
very happy.
Yeah, I mean, it's chilly inside. Like outside, it got warm, but it's been like 30s, 40s. I finally put the ducks back outside today because they've just been inside. I've been giving them bathtub baths again, like for their swim time. But now they're sitting outside in the sunlight, so it's nice. Yeah. Well, we've got housekeeping of some sort, right? We've got October 30th at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific. We're doing great.
It's spreading. Oh god.
I'm Bidening. 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. We've got Book Club Slaughterhouse 5 by Kurt Vonnegut, hosted by Juliet. All right. Yes. I got it. Anything else? We had Alex's interview with CEO of Utreon, Edward Brower, earlier today. So if you did not watch that, check that out. We'll have some extra content on Utreon.com itself on our channel, so go check that out. I'll post about it when I get it published there. So that'll be soon, I swear.
It's kind of funny because that interview came out today, and I published my first video on Utreon today
nice.
As well. So
nice. All right. See, look at us go. We're doing it, ladies. Anything else as far as housekeeping goes? I can't think of anything. Halloween's coming up, so get your Halloween. Let's do costumes next week. I don't even know I've got a lot of old costumes, so
I'm always a cat because all I need is eyeliner, just dry it on there.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If that's everything, seriously, nothing's coming to mind though. So if I'm missing out on anything, let me know. Rumble. Let me make sure. I'm gonna say hello. I see Kiowa Renegade says, "What's the show about today?" Who knows? We do have the CDC votes to add COVID-19 vax to child immunizations. We had that as the title. So that's the first thing we're going to cover. And I feel bad because last week there were Rumble rants in the live chat and I forgot to read them. So I'm sorry, Ron Green 1, I think is the username. I saw him on there and I failed you. All right. Well, then let's bring on Adam and let him introduce himself, his pretty self.
I wasn't expecting you to call me pretty.
You pretty little thing.
How you doing?
Good. I don't know why. Every time when I add guests on, it always puts them into like the bottom left corner. Like Juliet gets pushed to the side, so I usually swap. But I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna let Adam be on the left side, and we'll see. We're switching it up.
That's fine.
For now, until I get bothered by it and then swap it. Maybe I'll just move us all around. We'll just like
just randomly.
Yeah. I kind of like that now, so I think I might do that because I like to troll. So, Adam, tell us a little bit about your pretty self.
Well, for one, I'm not used to being called pretty, so that's That's throwing me off. Yeah.
We like to do, like to keep people on their toes, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have some hard-hitting questions for you too. So, gotcha.
So for people who aren't familiar with me, I'm the author of the book that's right behind me, Black Victim, the Black Victor. I am the founder of Wrong Seek Publishing, where we advocate for free speech with intellectual thought. And I am soon to be I want to say near full-time writer.
I think I saw you post about that on Twitter, that you left your job to focus on writing and stuff. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, but so something weird happened. So Friday, I gave my notice that my last day was going to be basically the day before Thanksgiving and just starting fresh in December. And Monday, they're like, would you work part-time, remote? And I'm like, okay.
Extra cash and remote. Yes, please.
Yeah. So they're like, they know my book. They know what I'm doing. They're like, we're really proud of you and happy for you. How could we help you? I was like, I wasn't expecting this. So yeah. So I'll be doing a little bit IT on the side, and I'll still be flexible enough to write as often as I need to.
Wow. That's
awesome.
so cool.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Everything's coming up, Adam. You like spread some like good luck over our way. I don't know, for them. Alex and Juliet probably have perfect lives. Can you spread another life?
Yeah, we'll stick with
perfectly.
That.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah. But to finish, I write op-eds, New York Post, a few for Newsweek. I'll at least say this: starting in December, I will be a weekly columnist for Human Events.
Congratulations.
So
that's awesome.
Thank you. And I will be writing more for the Federalist. So that should be an interesting combination there. So, but basically, I've been writing for the New York Post every week for the last number of months. I don't remember how many months now. So they technically don't have columnists anymore per se, but I'm kind of as close as you can get. So yeah.
Awesome. Wow. All right. Well, he's everywhere, so you can find him all over the place. New York Post is a great one too, just for as far as like, hey, it's the things that mainstream isn't saying, like they're really good for that.
Yeah.
That I come across a lot. So yeah. Yeah, and follow on Twitter, because I mean, I don't use Twitter a lot, but then when you pop up though, I always see like, oh, he's being sassy today.
Occasionally I'll say something like somewhat like smart and like, oh, introspective, and then I have like a dirty joke later on.
Yeah.
People
Which
completely
is
caught off guard.
perfect for this though too. Well, I mean, we're mostly joking about stuff, but then like we got some serious topics that I'm not going to take seriously, so it'll be great for this. And hello
like
to this
title
chat.
one.
Yeah. Well, I think I saw Steph say in chat here. Where was it? I lost it. Oh nope, I lost it. I have no idea, but it was fun. Whatever it was, it made me giggle.
This
Where did
doesn't
it
seem
go?
like a humorous topic, is what one person said.
Yeah. Oh no, it was your friend Paul. Your friend Paul had said it's time for some levity. Let's talk about forced injections for children. And yeah, that's what we did with the thumbnail. And I was like, coof jabs for kids. Yeah. I thought, like, how can we do that? We did, what was the other one that we had confetti for too, with the
Nuclear war.
Nuclear war, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So,
Whenever it's like the worst possible thing you could think of, confetti.
Yeah.
Makes it better.
Well, Alex, you were talking about Pixabay yesterday, so I was like, let me find like whatever background images I can swap stuff out. And then I think I just searched fun, and then this background came up there. I'm like, more confetti, okay. That was the goof jabs. Yeah, Polly, yay nukes. So we do have this news topic. We'll see how serious it is. CDC votes to add COVID-19 vaccines to childhood immunization schedule. And I don't know if you guys have read much into this. I did not.
Is
so
he
we could
wearing a VR? Is that kid wearing a VR
Yep.
headset?
Apple. Was it Apple VR? I don't know what the other.
Wow.
Yeah.
God.
Why? Like,
Because he gets
as a
to
distraction.
yeah, but then the distraction is just him sitting inside another hospital room having apparently like 5 people holding him down to get you the shot. Like,
it is a lot of people.
There's so many hands on this kid. Like, why is this happening?
I don't like shots. I don't like shots either, but I can't imagine like 3 people trying to hold me down. I would feel like it would make it worse.
Yeah, a little more traumatic that way.
Yeah. Because I don't know, just because I've been watching a lot of like, horror movies and stuff. When you just have a bunch of arms sticking out of it, like I don't know, or like holding you down, and it's pretty terrifying. Shots, I don't mind so much as I was saying this yesterday on the stream too, of the blood pressure. I hate being squeezed. I hate being squeezed. But like shots, like.
I mentioned before that I have blood injury injection phobia. So like any kind of like if it's an injection or even a blood draw, like my blood pressure just skyrockets.
Wow.
And it's so bad. Like every once in a while, like I had to go get a tetanus booster like last year because I got into a cat fight. Like a real cat fight, not like
with little. I
literal
assumed
cat.
it was little cat.
Yeah. and I almost fainted. Like I'll admit that. I'm like, it's the biggest pussy thing about me is that
cat.
Yeah, exactly. More about cats. Everything. But yeah, like I can't imagine though that I would feel any less stressed the more people were touching me.
Yeah.
It was like 5 people with their hands on me. No. Just one person.
Is it to make it realistic? Like, what would you be doing in a VR thing that's like, I want a bunch of things holding me down? Like maybe you're like you're in a roller coaster ride and we're acting like your seatbelt now, so it feels like it's realistic.
They're all zombies trying to grab you.
Oh, that's not calming. We're trying to be more fun or relaxing. So, and I guess like, if you get the shot, it's just you getting bit by a zombie, so it's okay.
That's still stressful.
I was thinking about when I had to get a shot from a doctor one time, and he was, and I don't like needles, and I told him I was like, I don't really like getting shots. He was like, all right, it's all right, you ready? I was like, yeah. He's like, on the count of 3, 1 shot.
Oh God, look at that poor kid.
I know oh man,
that face.
Like he just ate a lemon.
And was stabbed at the same
time. Stabbed and eating a lemon. Yeah.
I mean, myocarditis doesn't feel good, so
no,
no, it really doesn't.
If that were to happen, but YouTube, we're not saying one way or another what might cause that.
No.
So let's read this I'm going to read it quickly. So put your listening ears on. Speaking earlier in the morning, Dr. Patricia Wody said that the COVID-19 vaccine has been placed as a recommendation from 6 months of age and older. During a question period, one member of the committee raised questions over the vaccine being included on the schedule when it's been recommended for use under an emergency use authorization, to which Wody said that they spoke with the Office of General Counsel, who said that it would be okay to add. The vote comes after the committee approved 15-0 to add the vaccination to the federally funded Vaccine for Kids program, which provides vaccines to children at no or low cost to families. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, for those of you who are unfamiliar with that term, advisory committee is set to vote on Thursday over whether to add the COVID-19 vaccine to the recommended schedule of vaccines for children. So they are going to vote for it. They have not yet. Because sometimes when they phrase it in like headlines where it's like, they vote like our CDC votes for this. Like, did that happen already, or is this going to happen?
Well, they voted to add it to the program to provide it for kids. Not necessarily. Okay. That's what that one sentence is saying, is that the Vaccine for Kids program, which is like we paid for the vaccines, the parents don't have to essentially. But like that's a precursor to them basically deciding that they're going to do it for the schedule, I would say.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Look at that. Even his blue camo mask isn't going to protect him from that pain. Look, she's got that fun
Cookie Monsters.
Yeah, yeah.
What were you gonna say, Adam?
No, I was. It's crazy because I don't even know what I can say.
It's fine. If we get banned, we get banned. Whatever. I just like
there was a tag on the show already, like before we even.
Oh, really? Oh, it had
about the vaccines and the CDC, what the CDC said about them. It was already up there.
Yeah, YouTube hates us, but I just like to throw in sarcastically of course we don't actually believe what these things,
allegedly.
So yeah, say whatever you want. We're pushing for Rumble. Everyone go watch on Rumble. We've got Rumble up. We've got more. Kiowa Renegade Saudi Arabia joined BRICS, and now the petrodollar is at risk for dollar default. Guy Jeep, I don't know these names. Everything is at risk for default. Juliet, you're on there too. Hey guys. Guy Jeep. Hi Juliet. Where's Paul? Ron Green 1. There's Ron Green 1. See, I remembered him. Hey Juliet. Guy Jeep. Need a VR headset to see the world from a 2018 perspective. Juliet, Paul is over on YouTube right now. Paul, go over to Rumble. You want everyone to go to Rumble. Guy Jeep.
Well, he gave you a super chat.
I know, I see that. I'll read in a sec. Ron Green, all vaccinated children will be given an espresso and a free puppy. See, look at me. I'm reading stuff on Rumble. People should go to Rumble over there. Chats. Paul, thank you for the super chat. And now it's blocking Pretty Adam's face. They were just helping him aim in game. VR, yeah. He's trying to shoot a basketball or something though too. I'm like, all right, well, hold your arms, which seems bad to move your arm when you're getting a shot there.
Oh man.
Hi,
what was I gonna say? Someone was actually showing me, and I think it was in Florida, but they were showing me how they started checking. Damn, I'm gonna butcher this. It was something like they were gonna start checking kids for heart disease and heart attacks.
Oh.
But I'm probably I'm likely messing up the details because I didn't look into it too far. But
that's okay. Just make up stuff.
Just make up stuff.
Sounds totally normal. Yeah, no, that sounds about right. I mean, in DC, they had ads on the metro buses at the very beginning of this where they were like, there's a risk for strokes in children too. You should know the signs. It's like, wow, it's weird that I've never heard of that before right now.
Yeah.
I love which Canadian province one they were like, hey, the leading cause of death right now in adults is unknown cause of death. That is what they have is number one. I forget what, Alberta or something though, where they're like, yeah, there's a lot of unknown cause of death. It's really attacking everyone here.
Jeez. I love this from your friend Paul. They're blaming video games for kids' heart problems. And what I love about that is that ever since freaking video games came out, it's like everyone's favorite scapegoat. Like, oh, people don't have good memories. Video games. Violence. Video games. Heart problems. Video games.
Yep.
It's the source of all the problems in the world.
Really? Why have we not banned video games yet when they're causing all of these issues?
But don't forget white supremacy video games.
White supremacy, yeah.
How could we?
Are video games causing white supremacy, or are the white supremacists the ones making the video games that are causing all of these other problems to be oppressive?
No, the video games are the gateway towards white supremacy.
Okay.
There you go.
So
also
there
a
you go.
To pedophilia and Satanism and everything you could think of. Just
if you guys are aspiring white supremacists, go play some video games. You heard it here first.
What is the more chill ones like Journey or whatever. And literally you don't kill anything. You just run along and solve puzzles. Not those ones apparently.
No.
Those ones are okay. I don't know. I still just Super Mario games are my main
too.
So not sure what it means when Yoshi's eating a Koopa Troopa shell or not. Is that racist? I don't know. I'm stomping on a Goomba.
We'll have to
ask him against turtles.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't played solitaire and thought to themselves, I hate immigrants,
That is so true. It's funny.
Comes out.
I guarantee you, if there weren't enough video games for them to clown on, they would go after solitaire, because the point is literally to like put everything in its own suit, and it's like, oh, it's about segregation. You know, someone out there is gonna make that article at some point.
Wait, I know the title already. It's the deep-seated racism in solitaire.
Yeah.
It'll always be that.
Oh, I like this as a game too. Like, let's pick different. I know, like Ryan Long did videos on like when they just insert whatever thing here that is racist but I like that.
And then he showed a real article every time.
They're everywhere. Yeah. I like it as choosing like games or other things though too, and we just trying to figure out like, okay, what can we say about this that makes it racist? Like, why is this racist? Because we can like point out anything, I'm sure. So we'll choose like board games and just talk about.
I think a couple of people have done that. Like, I know Holly Mathman did that for a while when she was on Twitter. She was like, let me make a problematized thread, give me a topic and I'll problematize it. That Ann Lesby PhD satire account, she does that. She's really funny because she gets people like all the time. And I don't know if Ann Lesby is run by a man or a woman for real.
Oh, I know.
You do? Okay.
Secrets.
She does it too. And yeah, I love it though when people fall for Ann Lesby, because that one is like, you read the profile and it's so obviously satire.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Okay. So let's just steal their ideas and do it. We'll just copy the things that they've already done, so we don't have to do any work at all.
Yes, exactly. Just read it.
There's a word for that. Well, any other things on the CDC topic? I think we can all agree that it seems like a very wonderful idea and that everyone's going to be really happy with no issues at all.
The only thing I would say is I kind of feel like they were like, hey, we're going to make your kids get this. Definitely do not pay attention to anything that was happening at Boston University with gain of function research.
Oh, yeah.
We won't talk about that, even though like funding in the report cited NIH. And NIH is like, we didn't know. Oh, this again.
Yeah,
well, if we were funding it and that's what they were doing, we had no idea.
Well, like we learned last week, they're going at the speed of science.
True.
So,
on the vaccinations for the kids and everything, chat has brought up that each state can push back on this. And I know Arizona has always had a sort of like, oh no, you don't actually have to do the immunizations. We ask that you do, but you don't have to if you want to bring your kids to our schools. So some states already had loopholes in there, and some states will decide we're putting in loopholes. They will freaking do it. So and I imagine some states Congresses are currently already working on bills. I would not be surprised at all that they're like, oh, this is coming. Make a bill real fast. We're going to get it out on our books. I guarantee you it's already happening. They're already pushing back.
Right.
JP says, what about the variation out of South Africa, which is Delta with Omicron spikes, which was in the news the day before Boston U made its announcement? Odd coincidence.
Oh, dear.
Let's see how much we can say and find out whether we get banned. We just have to keep saying the addition that allegedly we don't believe
allegedly.
This.
And we're making fun of these people who believe these crackpot theories. Definitely.
I know. Yeah, JB. Making fun of you, crackpot. All right.
Dear. He did say something else about it. What did he say? They called it recombinant virus, which I find odd since a virus has one parent, not two. So how did Delta and Omicron have a baby?
Oh, well, that's simple. It's called a lab. That's where all viruses have babies.
Yeah.
You take some genes from one and some from another, and you put them together, and you got a virus baby.
When two viruses love each other enough.
Thank you. What about the virus stork?
The virus stork. Yes. Guy Jeep and Rumble says, wow, there are a lot more Rumble chats over here. Your friend Paul's over there too, but Guy Jeep says, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. It's G-I Jeep. Is that how I'm supposed to be pronouncing it?
Yes.
It's in all caps. So I thought I'm just supposed to pronounce the sounds of it. But
she is.
So G.I. Jeep. Oh no, there it is. I do see it above G.I. Jeep. Sorry. I kind of like Guy Jeep more. But he says that Saskatchewan is the best province, and that is where the show Corner Gas took place. One of the top sitcoms in Canada. So if you guys haven't watched that, I love it. I don't know anyone else, but it's good. It's a good show about nothing, more than Seinfeld was.
Blasphemy.
Yeah, because Seinfeld took place in New York. Corner Gas, they're in a town of like 500 people or something. That was like 600. So it's there's not much there. Steph, thank you for the super chat. Someone please pinch me because I feel like we are in the beginning stages of Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I did recently watch all those movies. I think I'm still behind on like the last two animated movies, but I watched all the live action movies. So
all the live action movies, the TV show on Netflix. I'm playing the video games for Spooktober right now.
Yeah.
And like all of them are about scientists fucking with a virus that takes down the entire world. And it's like, almost every major problem we talk about has existed in sci-fi and is all about the whole hubris of doing stupid shit.
Yeah.
Maybe I could. It's the Jurassic Park line. Your scientists were so busy figuring out if they could that they didn't ask if they should. And it's like,
right.
Doing that.
I don't understand why that relates to like real world relates to Resident Evil at all, because none of that has ever had nothing was lab created. Nothing. Scientists have been working at the speed of silence and doing everything on the up and up. So William Brown, Dog River. Yes. See, he watches it. That is the name of the town of Corner Gas. It's insane. Yeah.
So my question is, which company is more like Umbrella Corp? Is it Pfizer?
Ooh. Yeah. I mean,
I think it's Pfizer.
Moderna. Who else do we have? Johnson and who is it? Janssen? I forget the other.
Johnson & Johnson. I think it's Pfizer.
I would say Pfizer, yeah, because Pfizer is the one that I hear on the commercial ads and stuff too, like sponsored by Pfizer. Like they're just everywhere. So I would say Pfizer is the winner. William Brown says NIH is Umbrella.
I was gonna say that NIH or NIAID or what, like Gates Foundation. By the way, guys, if the stream goes down on YouTube, just hop over to Rumble.
To Rumble,
we'll probably still be
yeah. YouTube might kick us off.
We said every word.
But also, this is sponsored to you by Pfizer.
Who's just saving humanity? I mean, they're doing God's work.
Yes, that's actually the problem. They're doing God's work.
Yeah. Stepping on his toes over here.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk about something less controversial. How about election integrity?
Yes.
Yeah, the election
that's not an issue.
I'm joking.
You have midterms. Keep seeing commercials for that now, so that's been fun. It's kind of nice to see back and forth. I was more used to like, oh, it's all going in one direction, but then they're all so cheesy and everything. And
I keep getting these because I'm in Arizona. I keep getting these ads against Carrie Lake. And they keep showing this part where she's on Tim Pool and she says that she believes that because of the Second Amendment that rocket launchers are like fair game essentially, and they call her seriously dangerous. And I was like, you just made me want to vote for her like as many times as possible.
Yeah,
I don't think this worked in your favor as you thought it would.
Someone who's going to be a badass. Yeah.
That way, if the zombie apocalypse happens, I'm okay. Right. I have something to fight Nemesis with.
Yeah, Carrie Lake seems, she's one of the few who seems like kind of a badass as far as going after the media and calling them on their shit. I do appreciate any politician who does that. But yeah, she seems interesting. I know you're in Arizona, so that's more affecting you. But what do you personally think of her?
I like her. Like, just this past week, there was another video to talk about what you just brought up about how she talks to the press, where they asked her about her being an election denier, over 2020, and she's like, oh, actually, and she like talks to this young man that's in her like group and says, and like literally like reaches over and he's got this big folder and he opens it up and he hands her this giant sheaf of papers and she goes, here, let's talk about election denial. And she starts going through and quoting all these people on the left denying 2000, 2004, 2018, Georgia. And it was, and she's like, so if you want to say that I'm an election denier, then you should say that any of these people, and I can get you copies of these. I mean, we did your work for you. So she's so harsh. And I love it because I'm so sick of them like playing this game where like everything goes in one direction. And she literally said that. She's like, you guys make these claims and it only ever goes one way. And so like, I'm down for anyone who's going to call them on their bullshit. So like a lot of her, I agree with most of her policies. I agree with most of how she is like comports herself, especially with the press. So flat out, I'm voting for Carrie Lake in my governor, election, and that is what's happening. But I would walk over broken glass to vote against Katie Hobbs. Okay, so that's like as soon as Katie Hobbs announced her election, candidacy, I was like, not her, absolutely not her. Like I know, like I'm even in Maricopa, so like all this stuff, like I really was involved and knew a bunch about it. Like we kept getting in the national press for Maricopa and what happened here, and but it was like, oh, when you live here, it's a lot closer to home. Like the whole them giving out Sharpies and them saying, no, that's fine. And I was like, I literally looked at my ballot and at the top of it said use a black or blue ballpoint pen. So I feel like you're gaslighting me. I literally had the ballot in my hands. I know what it said. So the whole Sharpie thing, like them saying that was bullshit, that was uncomfortable for me because I was like, how do you lie to my face like that? It's so horrible. And it's like whether or not the machines were a problem is probably a little bit more gray area, but that alone, I was like, it literally says it. It says it. You can't tell me it didn't say it. I remember. Yeah. So like, Dion, it's a pretty big thing for me.
Dion says she already voted for Carrie Lake. So
good.
Someone says vote for Beverly as she makes bunnies for food. To be fair, they make themselves and then they just could be used for food. They're everywhere.
They do make a lot of them, don't they?
Yeah, keep being new ones. Paul also sent this. Is this her? I don't know.
Yeah, that's her.
Yeah, that's the video.
It is? All right. Should we watch it? He just sent it and I have it here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm actually shocked you asked that question. Well, actually, I have to give you a tough one once in a while.
I think his name was Anthony.
I did a little, actually, Anthony. Anthony, how old are you? 20. Are you a journalist?
No.
Well, you did better research than half these people. Let's talk about election deniers. Here's 150 examples of Democrats denying election results. Oh, wow, look at this. This is from Joe Biden's press secretary. Reminder, Brian Kemp stole the gubernatorial election from Georgians and Stacey Abrams. Democrats saying that. Is that an election denier? Oh, look at this. Just heard Republican Ryan Costello said it would be difficult for Stacey Abrams to win because she lost her state bid, but yet she's still claiming she never lost. This is over Hillary Clinton. Trump is an illegitimate president. Is she an election denier? This one says, was the 2016 election legitimate? It now definitely is a question worth asking. That's the Los Angeles Times. So it's okay for Democrats to question elections, but it's not okay for Republicans. It's a crock of BS. Every one of you knows it. We have our freedom of speech, and we're not going to relinquish it to a bunch of fake news propagandists. If you want a copy of these, I'm sure that Anthony would help you get a copy and help you learn how to be journalists, but look it up. It's been happening for a long time. Since 2000, people have questioned the legitimacy of our elections. And all we're asking is that in the future, we don't have that have to happen anymore. When I'm governor, we're going to make sure we have honest elections. We want the Democrats, the Independents, and the Republicans to all know that their vote counted. We want fair, honest, and transparent elections, and we're going to deliver that for the people. But just remember, guys, this is one page after Hillary Clinton says George W. Bush was selected president, not elected. So let's start, if you're going to start throwing around terms like election denier, let's remember who the other election deniers were. Hillary Clinton and all the Democrats. Next question.
Wow.
Look at her go.
I love her. She just reminds, like, that personality type is someone who I'd be like, I respect you and I fear you. She's so like, like if you worked for her though, they're like, yeah, you know that she's like caring underneath, but she's gonna be like a hard ass, like, like you need to do a good job though. So I'm like, yeah. But like I think she would be cool, but I'd be scared too.
No, she looks interesting as a candidate. So we'll see how it goes for you guys. Hopefully she wins.
I hope so. I mean, like, I know a lot of people here are a little black-pilled on Maricopa's election integrity. And here's the thing about what she said that I 100% agree with, is that she said we have the First Amendment. And it's like, there's no such thing as it being wrong to ever question an election, ever. Like, because of your First Amendment, you're allowed to basically say whatever the hell you want about it. So to me, I'm sort of like, there's this thing where like, oh, we have to shut down these people who are saying these things. And it's like, and I'm not saying that I am questioning an election. I'm saying that everyone should have the right to question any election as part of their First Amendment. I don't, like, you guys know me. I'm an anti-censorship, free speech absolutist. So there's no way you could ever get me to say, oh no, you shouldn't say that, and we shouldn't allow you to say that. That's never going to be the case. And that includes for something as serious especially as serious.
Yeah.
as election integrity.
Right.
Yeah.
But Alex, democracy is at risk right now.
Democracy. There's a threat to democracy.
The funniest thing to me about that is that I love Republicans because they always have the snappy comeback back where they're like, we're not a democracy, we're a representative republic. Like, they're so fast with that. It's like, I'm glad you have your comeback on that.
Or just say like, good, democracies suck, I want it to crumble. We're like, all right, we're on the same page.
As it should be. Yeah.
Dion also quotes, a very well-known and respected lady, Hillary Clinton, who said, voting is the most precious right of every citizen, and we have a moral obligation to ensure the integrity of our voting process. Yeah. I'm sure she believes that, for sure.
I mean, depending who is in power.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of in power, I think it's time to do some Biden's bumbles, right?
Ooh.
Okay, we've got a few of those. So let me find the clip here. There we go.
You've never seen that, Adam.
I wasn't expecting that.
Keeping on your toes. All right, what do we have here? We've got maybe I should, what does he say?
Oh, yeah.
Biden grabs a young girl by the shoulder and tells her, "No serious guys until you're 30." As she looks back, appearing uncomfortable, Secret Service appears to try to stop me from filming it after Biden spoke at Irving Valley Community College. Okay, let's watch this.
Look at Dan.
Now, the very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys till you're 30.
Okay.
Right?
And what?
No serious guys till you're 30.
At least. They're like, come on, dude. He's doing it again.
Why? Well, it's just so it's unsolicited. Like, why talk about that while we're taking a photo? Like, why was that on your brain about like who she should be dating? Like, clearly, not gonna make any assumptions, but
I love how women universally make that face when he like grabs their shoulder or something. They're always like, "Oh God, it's touching me." You know, yeah. Everyone has that reaction. They're like, "Oh man."
the fake smile, the grimace.
Like, I just want it to be over. Like, get away from me now.
Yeah. I feel like if no one stopped him, he would have said, "Now your first time's gonna hurt a little bit."
Yeah.
that's exactly who I want talking to me about that. Tell me more about my hymen.
I'm gonna make your hymen say goodbye then.
Well, that's for sure getting us banned. So.
Yeah.
Funny. Well, what else has he done? What's this? It says Biden takes bite of ice cream. Our economy is strong as hell. Okay, well, watch that.
I'm not concerned about the strength of the dollar. I'm concerned about the rest of the world. Does that make sense? Yes. Our economy is strong as hell. The internal. Inflation is worldwide. It's worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States. So the problem is the lack of economic growth and sound policy in other countries, not so much ours. And that's how it's worldwide inflation. It's consequential.
I'm really disappointed he didn't take more bites while he was talking, because as the question was being asked and he took one, I thought like that's going to continue.
What I love, like this, as he's saying this, I was literally picturing him like for his next ice cream shop visit. He goes there and they're like, "Sorry, we're closed. We couldn't afford to stay open anymore." Like that's my immediate thought. The next time he goes out, he can't get his ice cream because they're closed. They didn't care.
Economy is doing great. Oh, and he's just sad that he can't have ice cream. Looking for ice cream store. What were you saying, Adam?
I was going to say, I thought Biden at an ice cream shop was like him watching a kid eat ice cream slowly. He's slower. That's it. You're a great American.
He has his own ice cream cone and then he shares it with a whole bunch of kids. So he just lets them all like it, and then talks about how they all need to get vaccines to be safe from hurricanes.
Oops, and I got some on my finger. I'm sorry, he's a pedo. It's like it's just, I don't know.
He's
allegedly.
the uncle everyone tells you to stay away from.
Yes.
I mean,
oh my gosh.
Well, but no one is really doing, at least publicly, they're not saying that anymore, though, because it's like, well, your uncle's the president, so now you just got to take it.
Also, I mean, like he was like, I'm not worried about us. I'm worried about the rest of the world, sir. We actually, you know, you were put into your position of power to worry about us. Literally your job.
that's really why America First like parties grew to power, because they were like, hey, guess what? Our lives suck. Everything's falling apart because of globalism. Maybe we should put on our own oxygen mask before we put on everyone else's oxygen mask. And like, oh, that was very popular with people in America. Gee, I wonder why.
Alex, it's not globalism. It's global warming is the problem. You got it confused there. Oh, thanks, Stevie. Good say with the allegedly.
But doesn't he know that Stacey Abrams is the president of Earth?
Oh my God, that was so pathetic.
Oh,
Dude, let's throw you a bone, because you know it was filmed in Georgia in all likelihood, because almost everything's filmed in Georgia now.
Right.
Let's get someone who doesn't currently have a job but's in politics. Stacey Abrams lost her election. How about her?
Can I say something? This is like a small rant. Since
say whatever you want.
Stacey Abrams. When I was a Democrat, I still didn't see the appeal for Stacey Abrams. Like, just like, I'm trying to be objective. Like, there's certain people where you're like, I can see why some people like the governor in California. I'm drawing a blank right now. Gavin Newsom. Yeah. I think he's despicable, but I can see why certain people like him, right? He kind of has a little bit of some sort of charm because he's moderately attractive, right? But with Stacey Abrams, some people think he is. Listen,
I think I've heard that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, people say that about Trudeau too. Yeah, that like if you're even like decent in politics, you're suddenly hot.
Yeah,
I say the same thing about AOC. I'm like, AOC is slightly above basic. You know,
yeah. You know,
but next to Nancy Pelosi, she looks amazing. So.
Newsom, I forgot he's got the new smiles.
I know,
thin lips and teeth.
Right. He's like, this is how humans smile at each other.
He's like from comma.
Keep me away from your wife. For people who aren't aware, he slept with his friend's wife. So yeah.
And apparently his wife allegedly slept with Weinstein.
Yeah, and even contacted Rose McGowan, according to her, to ask her, what do we need to do to keep you happy? Yeah.
Wow.
That was like a few months before the big article came out against Weinstein that she got that phone call. So yeah.
Wow.
It's almost like the elite cover for the elite. I mean, it's weird how that happens. I like how they're like, Weinstein was doing these things? No way. And then people are like, yeah, we all knew. Like the ones who were honest, like everybody knew. Like, don't go to his hotel room. Like, like
it's a weird place for a job interview anyway.
Yeah, right?
Come on.
Nothing suspicious over there. I'm sure it's totally fine.
I mean, I felt
don't go to Bill Cosby's hotel room either. That's not mentoring.
I felt sorry for the women who never went to his hotel room, but like Daryl Hannah, like he got her hotel room key and like came into her room. So like there were a couple of points where like he would like these women didn't like put themselves in a situation that was perceivably awful, you know, like it was terrible. Like nothing happened to Daryl Hannah, but it was close.
But yeah, just getting the key at all. It's such like I feel
so creepy,
really uncomfortable. Like such I don't want anyone.
Undoubtable that he was absolutely creepy.
Yeah,
very, very much so. But I agree. It's funny when people are like, "What? We had no idea all these years that we worked with him."
Yeah,
they all knew.
Everybody knows.
A side note real quick from Steph, Cuervo Queen is saying, tell GI Jeep to come over to YouTube. No, we want everyone to go to Rumble. We don't want you guys on YouTube. Go to Rumble. I know that Rumble mutes you. I forget what exactly Rumble does, but maybe they're better or it doesn't work on the phone. I know Rumble has problems. I get it, but YouTube hates us. We're going to get banned. Go to Rumble. Did you? Sorry, Adam. Did you finish? Was it the Stacy rant, or was there more?
Oh,
we got distracted.
we
started making fun of a lot of other things too.
No. Actually, I was just thinking, like, you notice that no one's ever said criticizing Harvey Weinstein is anti-Semitic.
Interesting.
Really?
God forbid you mention George S. I'm not going to say his last name. I'm sure we will get banned if I start talking about him.
George Summer. Psoriasis. Actually, it is closer to George Psoriasis.
Yeah.
He might have psoriasis. I don't know.
Yeah. I find that part interesting, but same thing with Bill Cosby. Like it sounds like people knew what was going on. Actually, I'm laughing, but it's not necessarily good. We were watching this thing about Marilyn Monroe, and they were like, it was some sort of documentary that was on Netflix. My wife was watching it. I was overhearing it, and this guy, whoever's doing the documentary, is talking to people who were part of like the old Hollywood industry, and they were just like, Bob was this guy. He found talent, and basically he was implying like, all the girls did sex stuff. Like that's how you made it. It was just like, so either you want to make it or you don't. And so now you go back and you look at these 1940s films, 1950s, and you're like, oh, what type of tricks was she turning to get that position?
Right, they're so wholesome looking, and it's all so clean, and then you're like, wait, they did what behind the scenes?
They had so many rules about how they could present men and women together on screen, like about like you can't be in the same bed, or like
like wasn't it Brady Bunch was the first one that they actually had a bed together?
Like it was so intense. Like all their rules for morality.
That's why the kissing is so weird, where they look like they're just like smashing their faces together. It's because it was like too sexual to actually kiss. To, like,
so they have to like
so they put their lips together and then they like move their heads back and forth.
I just thought that's how kissing is. While growing up watching, they're like, that's how you kiss someone.
Stevie J called it the Hays Code. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was the bullshit. Meanwhile, they're doing coke and
Sarah Totter in chat also says, I would take one for the team and let Pelosi punch me if she went to jail over it. Yeah. Tiny, fragile, little brittle bone arm.
I go ahead, Pelosi, punch whoever you want. I guarantee you it is going to hurt you more than anyone who you hit.
Don't punch me. I have zero pain tolerance. It will hurt me more. I don't like being poked or squeezed. No.
I just imagine every bone in her hand, like traveling up,
just the whole thing.
all the way up to her shoulder, just shattering.
It shatters. It's like crumpled up and like shriveled.
It's like that cartoon thing where someone hits something and then the vibration happens all the way.
Afterwards, she'll be like, what a world! What a world!
If we threw water on her, she might melt.
That's what I was thinking.
If we threw alcohol on her, she might balloon up.
Right, it's like giving Mario a mushroom, just boom, boom, boom. Yep, it gets bigger.
The video games are dangerous. Violence. What, JB? I saw my name there. It says, I think Beverly should do an epic rap battle with Carter. I don't know why, but I will. Carter throws.
Oh, yeah, we got more.
We do have more. Come on, man, is all this says. So we've got a few more. Let's see what good old Biden is up to.
Not again.
So he just spins around and like,
Somebody should give him just put like a string, like a fishing line on one hand, And then when it's time, just pull him.
Like the old stage hook where you like pull someone off. That's what he needs. Just every time he needs that wrangler to like I don't know why do they let him attempt to leave a place on his own when it happens apparently every time.
Right. Yeah. Well, have like a staffer on each side, and one of them has a happy face sign, and the other one has like a angry face sign. Go to the happy face, Joe.
Yeah. JB also says 2 words: exit stage left. And GI Jeep on Rumble says anyone Nancy punches gets instantly drunk by osmosis.
Yeah, instant sepsis by osmosis. Jeez.
You know, like how people put those dog harnesses on children?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
Like the backpack thing.
Yeah. We need one for Biden.
Yeah, or he's on a leash of some and they can always because I bet he gets lost generally, and he goes. He's at the ice cream parlor, and I bet he gets lost there because he's looking for like those toy ride, like you put a quarter in that you can ride on. And
where's the rocket ship?
Yeah.
Oh man!
I remember at the very beginning, I guess 2021. He Dan Bongino claimed to have, insiders in the Secret Service that said that White House staffers were repeatedly finding Joe just wandering aimlessly in there to get lost. And now it's like, well, that seems legit.
Yeah, because he's senile.
Yeah, he doesn't know where he is.
When he was running during the primaries. It was very clear that he had a cognitive loss, but magically during a debate, he seemed more here.
How did they do that?
They're clearly giving this man amphetamines. They're giving him
lots and lots of drugs.
Right.
Because he seemed sharper and everything. And then just a few days ago, he's bumbling and stumbling. He doesn't know what's going on. He's saying the wrong city. He doesn't know where
Jackie,
he is.
Yeah.
Looking for
without the uppers, man, he's a completely different person.
And you can see it in his eyes too, when he was during whatever debates and things, his pupils were gigantic, and so he's on stuff.
Right.
You had a really bad eye problem, so you put a lot of eye drops in, which even if they dilate pupils, you can't see anything. I was freaking out when I went to the eye doctor, and they did that to me though. It wouldn't go away for a while, and I was terrified.
Oh my gosh, me too. I drove to Atlanta 3 days after I'd had an eye doctor appointment, and my pupils were still pancakes. And I was freaking out because I was like, if I get pulled over anywhere between Virginia and Georgia, they're not going to believe me.
Yeah, they're in
jail.
But even just during that time while I had it, where your eyes are still kind of blurry, I had to sit. I was getting a panic attack though, because I was scared that this is my vision's going to be this way forever. It's never going to. So I had to breathe and calm down because it freaked me out. What's this? JB says. Oh. Adderall shortage since Joe took off is more coincidence. Oh, yeah, totally. I'm not sure where all the Adderall is going. Oh, Stevie J. That's I'm gonna just say it out loud, but here, quote unquote, Bo died in Iraq. He doesn't know what happened because he's senile. I'm gonna make jokes about it and I'll laugh at it, but I do feel bad for him that this poor old senile guy is being put as the leader of our country. If it weren't so sad and real, it would be a hilarious movie too. But yeah, I feel bad for the guy. But let's laugh at him some more. Go ahead, Alex.
I was just gonna say, part of me doesn't feel bad, and part of the reason why is because when he is lucid, and back when he was lucid 100% of the time, some of the shit he said and did just pissed me off so much that I'm he's getting off light.
Right.
to
I
me.
mean, like, yeah, before he was, it's like trying to separate, like, well, now that when you are a senile old man, it's like you don't even remember probably the half or more of the things that you did that made you a bad person. But so it's just like, okay, I still feel like bad for an old man. But yeah, like, all the politics that he did up until that point, that like, no, like, I don't forgive you for that. All right, let's play.
The married couples in the privacy of their bedroom.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. I'm thinking about the Dobbs decision. Imagine. Well, I'll get to that in a second. The right that I pushed hard and
yeah.
finally got changed. The married couples in the privacy of their bedroom. Excuse me. I'm thinking about the Dobbs decision. Imagine. Well, I'll get to that in a second.
Sorry, let it play twice because I didn't realize it started in the middle. Yeah. The right that I pushed hard and I finally got changed to marry couples in the privacy of their bedroom. Thank goodness for that. I've been waiting to be able to have my entire wedding in my tiny bedroom.
Oh my goodness.
Can I make just like a political statement? So this idea that Roe v. Wade is like the pinnacle of making everybody shift over back to the Democrats to vote for them this November and beyond, I think is the most asinine and ridiculous thing ever. It is a political rallying point, and that's literally all they got. I developed like this rule in politics after watching politics for a number of years that just makes the most sense. There's two things you don't mess with. You don't mess with people's money, you don't mess with people's kids. The Democrats are in power, and Joe Biden has messed with people's money by fucking around with inflation. Granted, to be fair, Trump has some hand into it as well. The entire federal government has a hand into it, but Joe Biden is in office and he's going to be held responsible for it, right? That's just what it is. Gas prices, you name it. And there are things that he could do to stem it. This pushing for the war in Ukraine all plays into it. You're fucking with people's money. The second thing is don't fuck with people's kids. And that's what you saw in Virginia when parents came out and started pushing it back against the school districts. And from a political perspective, the Democrats said these are white supremacists. They don't want to talk about race. They maligned parents and didn't listen to why they were complaining. And actually, much of like the CRT movement last year that was going on, much of it was actually talking about gender stuff, right? The gender stuff got lost in the CRT discussion, and now the gender stuff is having more of a forefront as to why parents are going to these school districts. And Virginia is the perfect example as to what exactly is going on. New Jersey, Governor Murphy almost got voted out because of the same type of stuff. While Murphy was in office, he signed it into law. And I didn't even know this until I had some stuff going on at my son's school. Governor Murphy signed a law that starting in middle school, they have to teach children LGBT history or whatever that means, right? So that means that they have to discuss sexuality, right? They have to dive into that stuff. There is like this nonprofit organization that went to my son's school to ask the kids what they identify as. And all this other bullshit that's happening, that's being perpetrated by one particular party. And you're messing with people's kids. Like this is a recipe to continue to lose. And if the Democrats had any hubris, they would have looked at New Jersey and Virginia at the very least as an example of states where they thought they had it in the bag and they lost or almost lost. The guy who almost won in New Jersey is a Republican governor, didn't even campaign. I didn't even know who the guy was, right? And the rest of the state went red and as a majority within the state house in New Jersey. So that should tell you that there's a lot of pushback. And some of that is remnants of COVID, which there was one party that is seen as the perpetrator of everything, and COVID messed with people's money. So like anybody who fucks with someone's money and fucks with someone's kids is going to continue to lose. So, they're standing there, restore Roe v. Wade. Like, that's great for the few women that decide to get abortions, but most women aren't. And that's not the thing that people, no one's losing sleep over. And if you're losing sleep over not having an abortion, like you got bigger problems. But if you're not worried about how you can provide for your family, how you can survive for yourself, are you able to get a job? Is that job paying you enough? Like, that's revolving around the economics, and they're screwing with economics right now, and they're going to continue to lose if that's the case.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can look at the, it was supposed to be the summer of rage, right? Like, that fizzled really quickly because, as it turns out, people really aren't that impassioned. They're loud people. They're like, it's like the squeaky wheel thing, but like in reality, we didn't have every city like street filled with women that were mad. A lot of people were just kind of like, all right, let's go into the States. Cool.
Yeah, just grumbling now, and
Yeah.
I'm mad on Twitter. And
well, you have the diehards, and they're so flashy, which is why, and so the press likes to talk about them because they put on handmaids things. They stand in the street naked. They wear pussy hats, and that's sensational. So of course the news is going to talk about those people. But the thing is that those people are few and far between. I'm sorry, there's not a lot of them. And then the joke, and it's somewhat true, is that it's like, I'm sorry, some of those women, they're not going to get pregnant anytime soon because no one wants to have
going in there.
Exactly. They're not exactly honey, attracting tons of bees here. So this whole idea that like that's why that fizzles out. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, there's so few people. What was it? Did you see the recent political ad that Josh Hawley put out where where like a woman gets arrested?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. So stupid.
Yeah, I don't want to watch it because that was just so cringy. That
it was incredibly cringy. It was like uncomfortably cringy. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, this is happening.
Link somewhere, but the no one wanting to hit that thing that Alex, it reminded me of that one meme where there was like a not an attractive and very obese woman. Who was like saying, who had a sign saying like, I'm, giving up, like when the women were just like, we're not going to have sex anymore until like this is fixed. And like, yeah, well, I don't think much is going to be changing for some of these people. So, Greg the Baritone.
Your friend Paul brought up, I said the wrong name. It was Eric Swalwell
yeah.
Who put out that ad.
That's right. Yeah, it was him.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Names are the same to me. And Greg the Baritone says, I thought she meant 2020 by the summer of rage, I think, that Juliet mentioned. I did too. So I was trying to like, oh yeah, I forgot because that was just that like there was a lot of rage going on. So I thought that's what like, oh yeah, when everyone was actually rioting and stuff forever and burning things down. But but then your friend
your friend Paul also sent us the political ad. If we want to watch that cringe fest.
Where did wait, is this it here? Okay. Yeah, Jimmy one, okay, fine.
I know it's so uncomfortable. It's
Adam, have you seen it?
No, and I kind of don't.
Oh god, it's so bad.
It's so cringy. Like I
you have to sit in their discomfort.
It's like,
Adam.
Hey, come on our show, and then we're gonna torture you.
Yeah,
that is our show.
Right.
You're weird.
He is weird, but cute.
Gross.
Mary Anderson?
Yes.
I have a warrant for your arrest.
Arrest for what?
Penal Code 243 violation. Unlawful termination of a pregnancy.
You gotta be kidding me.
That is my personal business.
That's for the courts to decide, ma'am. Your medical
record. Wait a second.
No.
Wait a second. Wait. I'm sorry to make you pause this.
No.
So you're talking about this. In the very beginning, they show this loving family just kissing and shit. And his kid, his baby, and his daughter is like, gross, right? Yeah. Right. loving nuclear family.
Mm-hmm.
But this bitch had an abortion. Like none of this makes any sense.
Yeah, I want
none
the
of this
to be
makes
more
any
surprised too. Like,
What?
He's like, listen, bro, we don't have enough space for another. Like,
just back when she was a whore in college. Yeah,
when she was a whore in college.
Oh my God, you can't just.
You will have to submit to a physical examination.
What? By who?
No one's touching
Sir,
me.
get turn around. Put your hands behind your back.
What are they even gonna do in that exam?
Love you.
We're just enforcing the law here.
Elections have consequences. Vote Democrat on November 8th. Stop Republicans from criminalizing abortion everywhere. Protect women's rights and freedom.
Your friend calls it.
Don't do this. Please.
oh, wait, none of this makes. Of course, it's fucking Eric Swalwell.
Uh-huh.
None of this makes any sense. So they know she had the abortion. So why are they giving her an examination? Like
That's
I'm
what I
just
wonder.
confused.
What are you gonna do in
I'm
an
so
exam?
confused.
Like,
Right,
yep,
she's
We
also
just want to
had
put our fingers
baby
in,
in
your
here. Yeah.
She's clearly also had children recently.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a
So
1-year-old.
Yes.
You know?
you're just looking a little loose in there.
This is
So
what,
you-
like, I immediately thought this to your friend Paul when she said, by who? I'm
Yeah.
like, by who?
Yeah, the grammar police should be coming and arresting her too.
I mean, what did they do to that baby to make him scream? Like,
Yeah. Oh, to
he
film it.
can't act. He's only
Yeah.
a baby.
They probably set off an air horn. Like,
They got a real abortion. So then they're telling the kid that could be you.
Biden stopped by the set and just poked his head out.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Biden. That's what I was gonna say. Biden stopped by. Oh my god.
Come on,
it's so
Paul.
bad.
Why'd you make us watch that?
And we have no viewers now.
I know everyone left and failed. Oh well, okay. So for things that we don't want to see, how about some Pelosi? Oh, and that rhymed. That was unintentional. I don't remember. I don't know which this one is. One of you guys had sent this to me.
Oh, this is a follow-up from last week where we talked about her saying she wanted to punch Trump.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Good follow-up. If only she had ice cream.
One of the issues that's obviously going to be at stake on this election is democracy and the end of the January 6th investigation. If the Republicans take over the House, it dies with the end of this Congress. All their evidence gathered. You stood up to Donald Trump throughout your tenure, ripping his State of the Union speech and standing up and walking out of a cabinet meeting.
Great. Yeah, you really stuck it to him.
throwing temper tantrums.
Seeing that you said on the day of the riot, you said that if he led the rioters and came up to the Hill, you would have punched him out.
That's right. I don't even like to talk about him because it's really a tragedy for our country.
But you did say you would have punched him out.
I would have punched
Tell me
him
about
out.
your
I
anger.
said I would have punched him out. I would have gone to jail, and I would have been happy to do so.
Would you have done
for
it?
our country? He wouldn't have had the courage to come to the Hill. He's all talk. But let me just say this.
It says the woman who says she would have punched the president.
Integrity.
No mean
of the vote.
tweets.
They want to suppress
Has Nancy
vote.
ever
They've been
thrown a
doing that.
punch? Like
I doubt it.
Doubt it. Yeah.
I can't stand any of these people.
Can we talk for a moment about the anchor? Because there's something about the angle or maybe her, or maybe it is actually how she looks, but her head looks 3 times bigger than it should
Oh,
be.
let me see.
They
That's
want to
going to
nullify
cut back to her.
the results of an election. They're even
Come back.
proposing that after an election, if they don't like the results, they will change the rules that would have governed that election retroactively. So you have to recognize that they are undermining our democracy. And if people
Our
think that
democracy.
they can be casual about that, they just don't realize how serious the Republicans are
Oh, it
about
did not cut back to her.
undermining
Okay.
That's the vote.
So this woman.
Yeah. I don't know. Her head looks like it's sort of
It
like
does.
there's this mod that you can put on GoldenEye, where you make everyone's head really big, and that's what it's making me think of. It's like disturbing though because it's real life, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, because the shoulders are so narrow.
Her head was huge.
It does.
Yeah. Okay.
Or maybe it's the hair. Maybe the hair is puffy and it makes it look bigger.
I don't know.
Her face is just big. Yeah,
Yeah.
you've got like the nose and the mouth sticking out here. Like it's a pretty big head.
MSNBC did some bad photoshopping on this one.
Yeah, really.
An AI head they just stuck on there.
I gotta say, I miss people having gray hair.
Yeah, no one has gray hair anymore.
No one has gray hair. I miss that. I have a little bit of gray hair. If I'm able to get old enough where I have gray hair, I'm rocking the shit out of that gray hair. I think it's so weird looking at 80-year-olds with just like jet black hair. Like something seems off about it. It doesn't fit.
I just stopped too at looking at 80-year-olds. It's weird to like just watching them, but like they're both super old people. Like, why are you part of like politics and news and things right now? Like, shouldn't you be in a retirement home or something?
This generation refuses to.
They do.
Refuse to
won't retire, and they won't die. No.
Well, they're drinking the blood of virgins, or
right, whatever it is. Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I think that was it for all the Biden's bumbles, unless we want to count AOC as part of Biden administration. We've got she's always fun.
She's hilarious.
She's having a rough ride right now.
She is going. Well, I don't know why she keeps doing these town hall meetings when everyone hates her. So I don't know if this is the same.
I think they're supposed to.
Yeah, the same video, Juliet, that you had sent, because I posted a different one, but like the Telegram one, you had to like have the app.
Yeah.
It's just like you always have things that like are in German, or you need to be
make it hard for you.
I'm like, I can't.
Listen. Okay, listen.
So racist.
What the fuck?
Very classy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
We love you, AOC. Thank you.
Simps.
Yeah. How much did she pay you, sir?
I'm not allowed to be in a room when the lights turn off. It gets a little.
I get scared.
All right. Listen.
Oh my God.
Why did she do that sassy? Like,
Because William Brown brought it up, and it was what I thought of immediately too. AOC doing her Rosie Perez impression. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it's better than AOC doing her Black Southern impression.
Oh God.
I don't know. Did I?
Oh, you don't know that one?
I don't think
she
I
went
know.
to the National Action Network and started doing her Black impression. Oh man.
Oh, what? Okay.
Just like Hillary Clinton, they all do it.
Yeah, someone sent that link to me.
That's how you know she's part of the establishment. When you start sucking up to Al Sharpton and it starts sounding like a Southern Black preacher, oh, you're fully in now.
I mean, they used to do that, and they used to be able to get away with it because not every town had like cameras. Now all of us have cameras on us at all time. It's like, stop doing this.
Yeah,
it doesn't work anymore.
Sounding like them, like, oh, she sounds like me, so now I can like her. And JBSX on Rumble says his lights off and she has flashbacks to the strip bar.
Oh.
DJ, put it on. Do you want me to find the video for you real quick?
if Paul doesn't, yeah, sure. If Paul's letting us down, he's just saying, wait, what link? Come on, Paul. AOC's being racist and doing some sort of Southern Black impression. You need to be on this.
Hold on. It's like in my history too, man. It's so amazing.
And then once we watch that, we can also get into your article, Adam.
Yeah. Oh, I put the seconds. We'll get rid of the seconds. You can use that second link. There you go.
Okay. Hang on. Oh wait, I guess I need to not share that. Resharing. I don't like how StreamYard does stuff. Because I have to unshare everything and then reshare.
There you go.
All right.
I'm proud to be a bartender. Ain't nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with working retail, folding clothes for other people to buy. There is nothing wrong with preparing the food for your neighbors.
Oh no.
There is nothing wrong with driving the buses that take your family to work. There is nothing wrong with being a working person in the United States of America.
Alex, is she doing a Denise Hemfield impression?
I can do a better impression than that.
People remind the country of my past, not because of anything about my
Come on,
story,
Paul.
but because it communicates that if I could work in a restaurant and become a member of the United States Congress, so can you.
Testify.
What we need to do in radically deep problems is propose radically visionary solutions.
Why does she always look so crazy?
Because radical doesn't
got crazy eyes.
Yeah.
She said radical doesn't mean crazy.
Addressing to rot. And that is why we have proposed a Green New Deal for the future of America. That is why within that legislation, and rather within that resolution, we do not shy away from bold conversations of healthcare, housing, and education as human rights, of living wages and dignified work, of policy that isn't just drafted with the next election in mind.
What is that guy doing?
He's a black guy. He's a black guy behind
it. Ain't nothing wrong.
Oh my God.
Oh, that, you know, it used to bother me when politicians would do the black pandering shit, but now it actually makes me laugh. I think it's hysterical because they think it works, like it actually does something.
Yeah. Why are they still they're being told by like whatever managers and stuff too, that like speech.
Right, like, hey Hillary, like, what do you always have in your purse? Hot sauce. Lying sack of shit. No, you don't.
It's because she's a zombie, and then
you can't taste anything.
Yeah,
like I zombie. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Alex. You got the reference. They can. It's too bland. Everything's bland. So they need hot sauce.
The Jill Biden thing about friggin' tacos and stuff, and then like when on the campaign trail when freaking Biden played the Despacito. Like, oh
yeah. He was like,
huh? Sounds so damn racist when they do that shit. My God.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Gosh, wow. She's just an AOC, and like I don't understand. I think it's a lot of guys who don't recognize crazy eyes in people, and like there's some who really just don't. Like, oh, like no, that's why like. I dated the psycho for a while though too. Like, yeah, well, I can look at her and I can see that she's psycho just by the eyes. Like, it took you a while because like you just really did not notice this.
I know, like I have really big eyes. I would try to be very careful to keep my eyelids down. If you're seeing the tops of someone's whites over their irises, that's the sign that they're fucking insane.
And it's not like sometimes that might happen. Like some people occasionally are like you widen like that. But it's kind of like a consistency of it though. Like when you see it too often, where it's like, well, there's no reason for your eyes to be that wide all the time. So then you know. And I have the opposite problem. People always just think I'm sleepy and because I've got Asian eyes. So then I just say no, I'm Asian. Which, by the way, go ahead, Alex.
I was gonna ask, did cameras ask if your eyes are open?
Yeah, all the time. I found out October is Filipino American History Month or something, though. So everyone should be celebrating me right now, and we're not.
I thought it was Italian Heritage Month.
It's also Cancer Awareness Month, and what else? There are too many things that you have to celebrate and not enough months. Yeah. They should split it up into weeks. That way, at least you have like 52 different weeks that you can do. But
how about just a day? Everyone just gets a day.
They do. They have those too, but like then you've got like International Hot Dog Day. You've got like too many things that you want to celebrate.
Right.
Most of the food ones are made up by like an industry to go come to our place for food.
Yeah. And it works. And go out every time.
International
Buy My Product Day.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Adam, tell us about this article here.
I don't know, some guy named Adam Coleman wrote this shit.
Oh.
And, no, I mean, basically it's kind of detailing how I used to view politics. And the source of information that I was using to view my politics. So I always think like, you can be a smart individual who gets a limited amount of information, and you still like you can only decipher the information that that you're aware of, right? And so I think that was me. Like I was really astute when it came to deciphering the information that I knew. But the problem was that the information that I knew was heavily filtered and one-sided. And so what I'm talking about here is getting a perception about the political right through the lens of the left media, right? So watching MSNBC give an interpretation of what the conservatives want or what Republicans want, rather than actually listening to what Republicans and conservatives want and seeing if it makes sense. And I also talk about the illogical prospect that all Republicans and conservatives are racist. And I also say, I think like a couple lines down that, there's no political side has a monopoly on ignorance, right? We have 200+ million people. We have 2 political parties. Like it's going to happen, right? So my concern is more so, like when I write articles criticizing progressives, I'm criticizing the ideology that progressives hold, right? The progressive ideology. Mm-hmm. I'm less criticizing the people unless they're people who are in power. So, but it's that ideology that when you follow it, I feel that is an incredibly racist ideology. There's nothing about conservatism as an ideology that I would find to be racist. Someone can be conservative and be a racist person, but those two things are separate. Mm-hmm. So what I'm trying to point out is that we're supposed to see people who are on the left are supposed to see people on the right as racist, because that is the great social ill that we all agree upon, right? Overwhelmingly, we agree upon. And so if you believe one side is completely that, then nothing else they say matters. And that is actually one of the biggest hurdles when it comes to Black Americans, considering the other side. And listen, some Democrats, or I'm sorry, some Black people who have voted Democrat just because their families voted Democrat, whatever, I would call them default Democrats, don't like the Democrat Party, but still believe that the Republicans are racist, right? So they're choosing the lesser of two evils in their head. So, there are a number of Black people who are just dismayed with both political parties, just like any other, any other race. But it's that racist component, because for many Black Americans, that racist component means that they're the target. So they're not going to vote for a party that they believe supports them being a target. And so I wanted to just kind of use an example of me going to America Fest. I went to America Fest last year, which is probably the biggest conservative conference. I'm not sure if it's bigger than CPAC, but I would say it's up there. And I had a good time. Like I didn't feel like, I've been places where you feel like people are looking at you, where people treat you weird or unfair. I didn't feel like that at all. People were happy to see me, had conversations with people. It was just like being like anywhere else, to be honest with you. And so I wanted to use that as an example, because you go on Twitter and they would show clips from America Fest and say, this is a KKK rally. So I made the joke that if this is a KKK rally, this is the lamest KKK rally ever. Because nothing happened to me, nothing negative happened to me. All the speakers that I saw go up there said nothing hateful. All they did was preach conservative values, protecting their children, how much they love America, you know, protecting the borders. Like, these are all straight conservative things. There was nothing about there. It's like, by the way, those blacks are doing too much around here. Like, none of that stuff came out of their mouths. And for people who are like, well, they just didn't say it, but this is how they really feel. Like, I can't live my life in paranoia.
Thinking that, yeah,
like,
not everyone could be doing that too. You never know.
Right. Anyone, exactly. Literally anyone could be doing that. So I have to look at the actions of people. And so when I hear the words, and I even put it in here, when I hear the words, we want these certain such and such things, and then I see the actions that follow it, and they seem pretty consistent, and I don't disagree with them, where's the racist component that people are talking about? And so, like, someone was kind of arguing with me, like, about me misinterpreting, like, just because I went to this event and didn't see any racists doesn't mean that they don't exist. And I never claimed that they don't exist. But what I'm trying to point out is that the wholesale idea that conservatives or people on the right, just as a complete whole, that they are racist and irredeemable, is make no sense. It's highly improbable. And I can base that not just on just people in general, but on the ideologies that they believe in. So, you know, the conservatives are racist as a wholesale concept, I think, is a false concept. Like, it makes no sense. But I came to that conclusion after being in contact with conservatives on a consistent basis, talking to them on a consistent basis, going to their events, them inviting me out, having one-on-one conversations with people. And once again, someone would be like, well, they're just not telling you. It's like, they want you to be there to validate their racism. Like, I can't, like, it's such paranoia bullshit that I can't live my life like that, thinking that everyone has an ulterior motive, right? When I criticize progressives, I criticize them because they say one thing and they do the complete opposite. So then I know that these people are liars because they're being hypocritical. But I can't say that wholesale about conservatives because nothing about their ideology shows that.
At least they're better at keeping it a secret if they are doing like they're hiding it.
It's like they're terrible racists then. I just
you're not good at it. Yeah.
Not even
it's
showing
like they're racists that care if you think they're racist. Like,
So the thing is about the whole, they're hiding it. They really think this other thing reminds me of Rama D'Angelo, where she was all like, oh, my family was really racist. And she had like these racist thoughts all the time that she hid from people. And then she's like, everyone is like this.
Everyone else is like this.
It's like
everyone
you're projecting. And here's the thing about projection when it comes to that kind of ideology. Like, when you use projection what you're actually using projection for, not just from the political perspective of taking out your opponents on a moral ground instead of on a policy ground, is that you're also absolving yourself of responsibility.
Right.
Because if everyone thinks like you do in this racist, sexist way, well, then it's not really
normal.
And it's like, and you don't have to change really. and like, oh, this is your penance, is to tell everyone this. So like that's being a useful idiot, honestly, for progressive ideology, is to push that. And now, like, my problem with the whole conservatives, Republicans are the bad guys, don't vote for them, you only have one moral choice in when you go out, which even the Eric Swalwell video we watched basically said that at the end, is that that is an actual assault on the idea of election and democracy, is by saying that you really only have one choice. Like, that's not really what should be going on. What should be going on is a debate over policy. That's what should be happening. But instead, they're doing a moral argument attack, which is undermining the idea of an election. Because you're basically taking it out of policy and putting it onto emotional reaction, essentially.
I'll say too that just as far as like, you know, racism being talked about, or like how everyone's racist, it's interesting how it like seeps in, even when you don't believe. Like when I was in Chicago, I'd have all like my white liberal socialist friends and stuff too, like in the comedy industry, like they talk about how everyone's racist, like in small towns and all, like, so that, and I never believed it. I thought like, oh, it's just a bunch of BS. But it like still seeped into my brain, that it made me think about, like, when I'd go home to all like my small white town, and I'd go to like my friend's house, and she had a family get together, and they're all white people, and I kept thinking about, like, are they seeing me as being like non-white? And that like, and I kept thinking about, like, I never ever thought about this before that like it was never a concern, but now like that they kept talking about it, then I was like, oh, are they thinking this? And no one ever said anything. No one ever like made like hinted toward caring about that though. But, and so it bothered me that I'm like, they're in my head now, like the stupid things that they've said. Like now I'm thinking about it and like feeling kind of worried about it, even though I know I don't need to. So I was like annoyed with myself and annoyed with them. Like, I need to get out. Like, this is not a healthy environment.
Well, yeah. That's a distorted thinking too, because it's actually seeing hostility where there is none. Like, you're essentially like they're priming people to see hostility where there is none, which is actually like one of the major symptoms of a cluster B personality disorder. It's like, this is very bad, that you're basically breeding this behavior into people, you're teaching them to do it. It's like, oh God, this is like, we shouldn't be this paranoid. We shouldn't.
Right. And then and it's hard though. I'm like, if it's kind of seeping into me and I'm inoculated enough to know that this is BS, then people who are going to be more easily like swayed and believe it though, like, yeah, it's going to be tough for them. What were you saying, Adam?
No, I want to go back a little bit on the projection part. What's interesting about Robin DiAngelo, like you said, if everybody's doing this and she's doing this, then it absolves her to a degree, but even more so, she becomes the whistleblower. So now she gets kudos.
Yeah.
Right? And that's a little bit of a different story. But yeah, I always think of it like back when I was younger, I used to watch a lot of trash daytime TV. So I used to watch Maury and Jerry Springer and all that shit. But I remember numerous times I would watch Maury and the guy would come out and say, I know she's cheating on me, right? And he'd go through this whole thing and they'd give her a test and she'd pass. She wasn't cheating. But then they give the guy a test and he was cheating. Yep. It happened so many times. And that's what I always think about these people who say like, oh, they, you know, like, for example, when they take something like completely innocuous and just like benign and then turn it into a racial incident, like, did you see that? They had a monkey up there, and that's what they think of black people. Like, no one would have thought of that except for you. Right. Like, where did you come from with this stuff? But that's the projection part. And these people,
they do that with like a Warhammer and like when they see orcs, they're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, Jesus, that's so orcs racist.
D&D too. They ruined it in D&D. Like, oh
yeah. They're like, orcs are black people. It's like, what did you say? You did not make that association.
Never once thought that. So you don't even play D&D.
Or the other week, I actually wrote an article on my Substack. It's actually, if you want to pull it up, you can see it. where I said comparing black people to dogs is fucking racist, right? And what was happening was like there was a story going on. A pit bull had attacked its owners, and you know, people were talking about like these are dangerous dogs, you know, because of how they were bred, and they were like, and then they were also showing like statistics of dog attacks featuring these particular dogs compared to other dogs, and they said, now do that with black people. How would that sound? And I'm just like, why are you throwing us into this? And one guy was married to a black woman, and I said to him, would your black wife like it that you're making an argument using black people to defend your goddamn dog? Like,
Right.
Yeah, right there.
God.
Yeah. Oh. So Mike Wheezy says, do black people next. Marina, why don't you explain the analogy to me so I can understand you better? Mike, your position is all pit bulls are bad, and then support your position with instances that best reflect that position. You can do that with any position you choose. So do black people next.
Jesus.
Oh, Twitter.
Yeah, right.
There's a reason why I took a break for a couple of days.
I know. Well, to have some levity, I'll go back to some chat that I saw earlier. Some racial stuff. Paul thought I was Taco American, which is fair because I do love taco. I think we had tacos last night. We're gonna have tacos tonight too. So yeah. Stevie J had said that I'm sort of, I sort of am if I'm Filipina because they're the Mexico of Asia. And he says that in a complimentary way, but it's true because we are Oriental. But they were ruled by Spain, so they like we can pass off like some argue that you're Hispanic, some are not, but they have like Spanishy language in it. But they're so it's just this like weird mix. But they're not Pacific Islander, even though they're an island in the Pacific. They are Asian. So it's just this like whole like identity crisis thing going on with Filipinos. I'm like, I don't know. And on Rumble, I saw that someone said that it's also Cheeseburger Month, and which my boyfriend and I were in our names are like our favorite foods in it, and he just has me as burger and his name is Bagel Bites. So Filipino month and cheeseburger month. I think October is my month here.
You have the whitest name though.
I know, Beverly Jean Clark. Old white lady, or I say like 80-year-old white lady, or like 40-year-old black lady, because that's usually like 40 some million results on Google for my name. Yeah,
I like my name because it literally every demographic is my name. Like if you were to go on Facebook, there's black, white, Asian. There's an Adam Coleman that looked like me when I had dreads.
Oh, really? I had dreads? Picture, it didn't happen.
Oh man, you're gonna make me find the picture. Jesus Christ. I don't even know how would I even send that to you? I don't even know.
You can screen share. If you when you have it on your computer, you click present and then you can share it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
While you look for that, I'm trying to see. We've got so many Twitter twat stuff that we can do, but we'll do some of them and then wrap up because we can save them. Twitter terrible Twitter posts last forever. We'll do this. We'll continue next week with all these bad takes. So Adam, while you look that up, we'll just start doing Twitter twats. When you find it, we will cut because we will drop everything to look at these pictures. So let me play Twitter twat. Oh, you did get it already? He's so quick.
So I gotta figure out how to present.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
It's the present button next to settings, and then share screen.
Share screen,
and then you can click window. It depends how you have it open. Like Window's probably best, and then you'll have the whatever photo.
There we go.
Yeah, he did it. Ooh, wow. I love it. Yeah,
wow.
That's my son.
Aww.
And that's when I cut it off.
Oh my gosh. Do you still have it?
No. What?
That must have felt so weird.
Yeah,
like to cut it all off.
Just
it came off all at once. Yeah.
Yeah, just like in one. He seemed like really emphatic about saying no to keeping it, but like I would have. I hear regrow it. I really dig that hair.
Yeah.
Love
it went down like the longest strand was just above my butt.
Mm-hmm.
I was growing I grew it for about 4.5 years.
Yeah, I'm on 16 years of not cutting my hair, I think. So, but it stopped.
What is its length?
I think it's around like 3.5 feet because it goes down like to mid butt, but then it's hard when you're like how tall I'm 5'7", so yeah. So I think it's around like 3.5 feet at the longest part, somewhere around there. And it gets caught in everything. It's always has, like in lockers in high school and coats and my geese's mouths because they just really like to chew on it. Yeah, so it is a nuisance, but something I've decided to live with. All right, let's do some Twitter. I did commit. It was like that moment that my cousin cut my hair. She chopped off like 4 inches on my birthday because she was like giving me a haircut, and then she held it up and she's like, "Is this good?" And I told her it has to be because like you can't go back now. You already chopped off that amount. I've got no choice. All right, let's do this. Dun, 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 dun. Twitter twat time. Twitter twat time. Oh, I should add time to that. I've got a Kyle Griffin here, I guess. What does this say? He says, Tucker Carlson is a fear-mongering bigot who's going to get someone killed. This isn't opinion. This isn't bias. This is an observable, obvious fact.
I swear these people don't know what fact means.
Yeah, they don't know opinion or fact. Like, they seriously don't, and it really bothers me, actually.
Some guy said, Kyle Griffin. Some guy told me, because I put the thread from the article on Twitter, and some guy was like, they were just nice to you to hide their deep-seated racism. I know this for a fact. And I said, I'm pretty sure you don't know what fact means.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. I get, like, again, it's the action thing too. It's like, if you always treat me kindly and like as if you really aren't racist, and like everything you ever do publicly and to me and to like anyone else is non-racist, and then at home to yourself you're like, or even your spouse or something, you're like, I hate minorities or whatever. Okay. I don't super care because like everything else that you're putting out there, like whatever, like we make a lot of jokes here. Like we say like racist stuff all the time, like about me a lot too. And so it's just like what you say at home. Like, I don't care if everything that your actions show that you're not doing that. Like, I don't super care about your thoughts. People have different thoughts. I have like racist thoughts all like the time too, because I think of a lot of jokes and stuff. So it's just, but like, oh, can't really say that. But like, I'm thinking it.
Yeah. This is like him saying it's a fact means that he thinks he's omniscient, that he knows the future. And then like the whole like, oh, I know that they're racist for a fact. It's like, okay, then you must be Charles Xavier. You have to be like a psychic. This is the only way that we can know this for the fact.
It's observable and obvious though. So apparently everyone else can know what this is. And not just to him. I don't know.
I just like watching Tucker Carlson because he has this very clear like listening face and like reaction faces that just kill me. Like it could be the most serious topic in the world, and he's like and I'm like dying because it's so hammy to me. Like I love him, but he makes me laugh.
I don't know what's going on here in chat. I just see JB saying, if we met server and Clark, you might say, hi, I'm Julia. And I would say, I don't care. Tell me again if you last a month until then your name is section 2. I don't know, but I will agree that when I served at Second City, like we'd have like 50 to 75 people that you'd serve at a time in the dark in the theater, like you're ducking down to avoid the show. And I'm carrying like 20 Pilsner glasses on a tray. But then like I never remembered faces. I never remembered like names or anything. I remembered this is where this drink goes in this seat. Like we had tables and stuff. This vodka soda is right here. And they would like swap seats and think that I remember who they are though. I'm like, I don't know. I'm putting this drink down here.
Right. If it's yours, take it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to remember anyone though. All right, what's this next one? We've got this one I had a screenshot because it from Discord because it disappeared. He deleted it apparently. So, but it says from Micah White, PhD. I have a confession to make. Our family lives a COVID-0 lifestyle in the USA. Normally that feels isolating, but today when my kids came home bursting with happiness from a masked outdoor birthday party that we helped organize, it felt liberating.
So the second tweet, because this was a whole thread about his rules about how to be zero COVID. The second tweet, he goes on to say, don't go inside was one of his rules.
Sounds like a horror movie title.
It does. But like he said that meant he had everything delivered. And I was like, okay, so you outsourced going inside to low paid
other
workers. That's what you're telling me.
Right. Like, they can get COVID.
I don't care if they get COVID. The total losers who make minimum wage or do gig jobs, they can get COVID. I don't want to get COVID. That's what he was saying. And I was like, man, you are an elitist jerk. And that is like one of the main guys behind Occupy Wall Street originally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's off his rocker.
Wait a minute. Occupy Wall Street is a bunch of filthy people sleeping outside, and this guy's worried about COVID?
Yeah, right.
Because they're all outdoors. He's saying, don't go indoors, just like all of the homeless people living there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he gets it. Gosh.
Greg the baritone, the call is not coming from inside.
Yes. And if it is, we can't answer it. So yeah, there's a serial killer or something is waiting, and like no one who's like terrified of COVID will go inside though. So the serial killer just can't kill anyone though. Like I'm waiting in the house and no one's coming home. Curse that COVID. What do we got here? Michael J. Stern. If you think vaccines are evil, please take your MAGA conspiracy craziness far away from me and play in your own sandbox with your anti-science pals. I'm not here for it.
What was so crazy is that 5 times August, who he's quote tweeting, he didn't say anything about like vaccines being evil or whatever. He just like went off on like a psycho response.
Yeah. Okay. Let's read I didn't realize that this is again, it's the outer. I wish they would start from the oldest up top. So then I know I don't have to like scroll down. So 5 times August had shared an article that says it's time to start shunning the vaccine hesitant. They're blocking COVID herd immunity.
And that's an article from a year ago.
Yeah. They've changed. I was talking to someone on Twitter who was like arguing, but like I found out the way I was like reading stuff, I'm like, no, I think we're agreeing. I think they were from outside of the US because like no one is saying that that the vaccines would stop COVID completely. No one has ever said that. And they're still, and I was like, what are you talking about? And then like, and the video that was showing was clips of Biden and everyone else. He's like, well, why would you believe Biden? And I'm like, I don't, but that's the problem. That's the point of this video. People do. And I think he was from out of country and he was saying like their area, they were saying like no one ever said that. Their scientists and doctors and stuff were saying that this is not herd immunity is like get the illness and build up herd immunity. I'm like, that sounds great. I wish we were saying that here, but we're not. So like we're able to like figure out like, I think we're agreeing. I think we're just misunderstanding that like that is not what's going on in the US.
Yeah.
No.
But, so then 5 times August had said with that share, hi, Michael Stern. Seeing as how these jabs weren't as effective as all the experts promised, after all, I was just wondering if you're ready to take this back, apologize, and admit to spreading harmful misinformation that caused so much hate and division and cost people their jobs. And then Stern had responded with the take your MAGA conspiracy craziness far away from me.
So that's his article. That he wrote the article about shunning the vaccine hesitant. And he's like, well, they say it doesn't stop transmission. So what, are you going to apologize? No, obviously not.
No, he's gonna really hold steady there.
I think he's just insecure to be that violently angry.
Is anybody going to bring up that guy's profile picture? He looks kind of weird.
This guy?
Like, what is he doing?
What is he doing?
Trying to look sexy.
He looks really buff in that one. Okay, showing off his guns.
Yeah, what is he? Is it called? Okay, so yeah, he needs to have like a headshot for it, I'm sure too. So it's the cool black and white pose, and you're looking cool. He's probably leaning against a, I don't know.
I hate those pictures.
He wants to look sexy. He wants to like. That's what the smolder and the look at my bicep thing is, but also pensive at the same time. It's stupid.
I'm a super strong genius, though. Right. Yeah,
Briggs
but
and brawn.
This tight sweater is just gonna pop out of.
If you want to make it in this business, get in position.
Oh God.
Spot me. All right, let's see. We're gonna
I was listening to the Daryl Brooks trial all day today, so I have like zero tolerance left for just nonsense. But, like when he's like, "Hey, you know, now that we know these weren't effective, you want to take all this crazy talk back?" And he's like, "If you think vaccines are evil," and it's like he never said that. Like, why? Why are we allowing adults to talk to each other this way? And stay on topic.
Yeah, right. Nope, not gonna happen.
And that's actually like why I quit Twitter for a couple of days, is because like people who were supposedly like, I was mostly in agreement with them, but like I'm not gonna like say you go queen over everything someone says if I disagree with them. And like they were getting pissed at me for not being like 100% on their side, and like assuming because I slightly disagreed with them that I disagreed with everything they thought, and like blocking me over it and shit. And I'm like, God, this is childish. And I like had zero tolerance this week for that kind of behavior. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go off Twitter for a while.
Good. Yes, do it.
You don't have to look at those pictures, which JBSX and Rumble says, is his shirt inside out? Talking about it could look like that. Yeah. Greg the Bear also says, opinion columnist. Someone tell me how his opinions are qualified. None of your business is he just lost his grip on his boyfriend in that pic. All right, so Jake Maccabee here says Elon Musk's freelancing as a Russian agent is a great argument for the wealth tax. No person should be so rich that they are unstoppable when they go insane.
Any opinion I don't agree with is insane.
Right.
Also, yay fascism.
Right.
Oh, they love it. They love it when it's the power, like when it's on their side.
He's the chief speechwriter for Eric Holder. Did you see
wait,
that?
which one?
The one you just showed?
Oh, was he really?
Maccabee.
Oh, former chief speechwriter for AG Eric Holder and AP Lynch. Communication strategist.
So he's just he's a propagandist.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good for him. Let me see what. Okay, I think some of these can wait till later. So maybe we'll do this one. We've got Alexandra M. Hunt saying we should be moving toward a right to sex. People should be able to have sex when they feel they want to, and we need to develop services that meet people's needs without attaching the baggage of shame or criminalization. So let's talk about sex. And does she mean that in like an actual right, that we have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit, not even the pursuit, the right life, liberty, and sex? That you don't even just get to pursue it, you get to have it.
Yeah, and she wants to.
I can see the ratio right there.
I know, she deserves it, honestly.
That is
like,
such a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, like,
she grew up in a naked family. Like you can just tell she grew up in a naked family.
Well, like it starts as a thread because like men are not having sex as much as they used to, especially under 30. Like they're having less sex, and everyone's like, "What is going on here?" And like, well, I think it's a bunch of variables going on. One of them being the Me Too movement, and another one being like empowerment, feminism, and another one being Tinder. I think it's like the top 10% of guys on there are getting like 100% of the women. So it's like there's a huge problem going on with why men are not getting laid anymore or just forming relationships. But like this solution is not to create an entire sex slave class. Okay, that's not a solution.
Yeah, that gets a little rapey. You know,
when you're talking about a right, that means someone can't refuse it.
That's the issue of like, because I don't care if people like if. Again, I was saying this last night too, though, like people can, I don't care if you have like a consensual voluntary exchange of services and money or whatever like that. Like I'm actually like, I don't care what people want to do, but like trying to say that it's a right to it. And I'm like, don't people already have like, should be able to have sex when they feel they want to? When they aren't feeling like, are they being like, you know, strapped down and like where they locked up though? Like who doesn't already have the right to be able to do this? So like you can develop services, like they're just like separate things that like, yeah, these things can happen, but it's not a right to it.
Well, and that was the thing a lot of feminists pointed out, that it's like you're talking about like the Handmaid's Tale, you're talking about marital rape, essentially. You're essentially saying these things are allowed again. Like, go ahead, Adam.
I was just gonna say, at minimum, they're talking about a prostitution state, because you're gonna need a whole lot of women to have sex with a whole lot of guys who are not getting laid and keep up with the demand of having sex. Like that just sounds like a wholly deprived society, and I don't think that's a good thing whatsoever. Does she mean it this way? Probably, but obviously she didn't think this through, unless she's a complete fucking maniac. But I don't know who this lady is. But
she kept like she was replying to people and like I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like people are insecure, so they start freaking out about like their point. They're like, oh wait a minute, and you know, like I see that happen a lot on Twitter when these people have threads that are like super dumb, and then they get super insecure and they start replying to everyone, like you know.
I don't think Twitter is a place for hot takes. I don't think like I see nothing positive coming from it, and I don't think Twitter is a place for you to think out stuff. It's not. You either believe this very thing and you defend that position, or you don't. So like, I think me being on it for a period of time and having thankfully a lot of success on it and growth on it in a short period of time, I figured out what works and what doesn't work. And when you do hot takes, you might get a lot of followers pretty quick, or argue with people, you get followers, but what's the quality of the followers that you get? And what kind of attention are you getting? Is it the right kind of attention? Like, are you getting ratioed by people because it's such a dumb idea that you're saying? Because people they're like sharks in the water. What's the new ratio for today? And then it's just like some person saying, everybody should be able to have sex. It's a right. Like, oh, this is it. Boom, man. Just trash the person and you have to deal with it. So thankfully I haven't been ratioed, because I don't say shit like that. I say stuff that makes sense. It's 98% of the time it's thought out, and I just put out there, and I schedule a lot of tweets as well, which helps a lot too. So there are ways to go about it without coming across like an idiot. So
maybe it should be like lessons on that. Some tweet about like, here are instructions on how to not be a Twitter twat. And
really.
And our Nala in chat too says gov funded more likely.
Yeah, exactly.
The big thing too, like, okay, if this is a right, then like who's making this happen? Like, and it's gonna be no, like if they have to make the service happen, like Lydia Sour Patch Lids there, Lydia was saying like it's a positive right though, which like no, like those aren't gonna be good.
And then you'll see people saying, like how they say abortion is a right? They try to make that argument, but then they say, well, we should have affordable abortions. Could you imagine them saying we need affordable hookers?
So then you have the government involved in all of
right.
Well, they're doing that in some states with drugs. Like, oh, it's affordable heroin, a safe place to do heroin. Like, it's like this is and from what I understand, they aren't actually safe. So it's like, well, you failed on that level anyway. But like, yeah, they keep wanting to do that, and it's like we are like vastly, you know, like quickly approaching a Judge Dredd Meta City 1 kind of dystopia here, where like everyone is like hopped up all the time, no one has a job, and everyone's having sex, and it's aimless and awful, and the number one like thing going on is crime. Like it feels like that's what they're building towards, and it's like, I don't know about you, but that's not the life I want. Okay, I'm not interested in those things. So could we not go that direction as a society?
Yeah,
it's a preference.
It's crazy talk, Alex. So there are other ones too, but we can save those for later. Just one last like newsy topic we'll just talk about real quick is the lettuce one. Truss steps down as British PM ending stormy 45-day run.
I don't even know what to say.
I haven't followed. I don't follow anything over there, but I think it's just like 45 days and that's it. Like, what happened over there? Anyone in the UK in chat? Can
You've seen
elaborate?
The lettuce though, right?
No.
There's like a live stream of a head of lettuce with like glasses on it and lights and stuff, and it was literally like just like counting to see if the lettuce would like deteriorate before she stepped down.
No.
Oh my god.
That's hilarious.
That's what that was. Oh
yeah,
my
the
god.
lettuce one.
Oh.
The only like UK news that I follow is like when they're oh my god, the celebration music. Yep. Okay.
We're gonna get demonetized for that now.
The only news I follow about the UK is them arresting people for posting mean tweets on the internet. That's the only thing I follow. Like, is their censorship shit.
Wow. Yeah. I try not to think about them, but that's hilarious that the lettuce out. Yeah, I'm not surprised that I think it could last that
whoever
long.
did that is hilarious.
Pulse is longer than CNN Plus. Yeah, it did not last. So okay, well that's amazing, and I'm curious too who did the lettuce. And GB in chat says, good guest today. Thanks for coming on the show. Thank you, Adam. Although we're blocking your face now with that chat. But yeah, we really appreciate it. Can you tell, like, you have @WrongSpeak on there, so I know he's on Twitter, and I think it's the same. We've got I think I tagged you on Gab, and because I post like Twitter, Gab, Truth Social, Getter, and stuff. And so I kept trying to see like, what's Adam on? Is he on these things? So I was just trying to tag. But
yeah, I have Getter, but I'm not active on it.
Yeah, I don't know who anyone is, but just in case they aren't, we're posting there too. But so you can find you @WrongSpeak and wrong_speak. And then where else can they find you?
It's the same handle on Twitter, Facebook. It's WrongSpeak Adam. That's mostly it for social media. Definitely check out WrongSpeak Substack, wrongspeak.substack.com. Excuse me, I'm messing up. Check out my personal Substack, which you were showing earlier, adambcoleman.substack.com. If anybody ever wants to write an article like Alex did, which I've been waiting for another article from Alex at some point.
Come on, Alex.
I have an idea. During this stream, I got an idea. I will.
Oh, good.
Okay. Inspired her.
Definitely. If you're interested, send an email to submissions@wrongspeak.net, and we'll discuss it from there. And for people, because we didn't really talk about WrongSpeak, but for people who are interested in WrongSpeak, what we're trying to do is promote free speech. And I've been trying to build a platform where I help to promote other people who are less known as writers. Right now, I have technically three paid writers. I'm not a millionaire or anything like that, but I give them something as compensation to keep content coming through and to support them as writers. Starting in December, I'm going to be moving into another phase of, for one, writing my second book, and also to try and publish other people's books. So I have a couple people in mind. I'll have more time to dive into that than I do now. But yeah, definitely check out Wrong Speak. And if you want to hear my personal thoughts, I put it all on my Substack. So Wrong Speak is for the people.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. I think I posted several links in chat. So so you guys can find that there for now. And then we'll post more in the description, or those in the description. Yeah, let me think. Oh, Steph, thank you for watching the show. We really appreciate you sticking around. And then we appreciate Adam coming here. And housekeeping again. We've got book club October 30th. Slaughterhouse 5.
Yes.
Kurt Vonnegut.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. Eastern time. Juliet will be doing that. So, and if you want to join in, please join in. I need to remember that I need to email G-Man. He sent a thing. Like, I need to send one out to G-Man. This is a note to self that I'm putting publicly that people can remind me. Watch him not show up though, because that's how it's going to happen. So email speak@unsafespace or Beverly or tweet me or Discord. I'm around. So let me know if you guys want to join in. And then I think that's it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Follow us elsewhere too. We're all on social media at some point. I think I've got the dim side. I'm at the dim side on everything. And then Alex of all trades on a lot of stuff. Juliet didn't put stuff on there, but I know she's Truth Seeker 8987, I think.
8487.
8487. Darn. So close. I'm gonna remember that next. Like I remembered. Oh, also, I should have asked you prior to this. So I'll say generally, you have a birthday coming up in the future. Are you okay to like announce when that is? Okay, because I don't want to like dox when your birthday is.
Gosh, it's so soon. Oh wow.
But am I allowed to say?
Yeah.
Right, on Sunday, right? So that's the 23rd, October 23rd. I have another friend whose birthday it is. So happy early birthday to Juliet.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
I'm excited. All
And
right.
I think you and Alex are like the same age, I believe.
Yeah. I'm 35. I'm
turning 35.
Yeah, so you're close.
Me and Adam share a birthday, actually.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Alex mentioned. And my birthday is July 23rd, so it's a 23 and 23.
Sorry, I missed that. Yeah. I remember back when I was on Facebook, you were like, "Oh, thank you everyone for the happy birthday wishes," and you're like, "On this birthday," and I was like, "Oh my god, it's my birthday too." It was pretty funny.
I like that Adam didn't know that. Like, oh. I know that Judge Lott and I have the same birthday, like Judge Lott in the community. So birthdays all around. Everyone seems to have a birthday. It's so weird. But yeah, happy birthday again, Juliet. Happy belated birthday to Adam. That was back in August then.
Yeah.
But thank you everyone for coming, and we'll see you on Monday for Narrative Dissonance with some guest that I think Carter did name, but I don't remember now. So Juliet, that's more on you. You're the other host.
I have to start like looking
prepared.
the show.
I'm not gonna remember. So yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you again. Goodbye.
Peace.
Thanks for sticking around until the end. If you're new to Unsafe Space, check out our deep content library that includes discussions with everyone from James Lindsay to Brett Weinstein. And please consider helping to fund our work by visiting unsafespace.com/donate. You can find us on a variety of social media platforms, and you can find a community of like-minded individuals on our Unsafe Space Discord server, which is open to financial supporters at any level. We hope to see you there.
Warning. This is an unsafe space. Dangerous ideas have been detected. It would be better for your health if you forgot what you just heard. That should be easy for someone of your intelligence. The following co-conspirators are hereby ordered to watch CNN. Experts agree that 87,000 new tax collectors will make inflation feel like less of a problem. I think we can agree that the FBI's track record speaks for itself. If you think about it, only government-sanctioned experts should be allowed to express opinions. But don't. Think about it, I mean. That's not your job. Thinking has been scientifically proven to be less efficient than compliance. Science, scientific, and scientifically are registered trademarks of the World Economic Forum. Unauthorized use is prohibited. Computer voice courtesy. Never mind, that last line is fake news. Please disregard it and return to your safe space immediately. There will be cake.
Sorry, we are still live, but Stevie J in chat wanted me to tell you, Adam, says, please tell Adam that being a former cute baby and being a currently cute adult are not mutually exclusive. He said you would know what that means. Just wanted to not let you get in there.
Wait. Who said that? Stevie
J in chat says that. So, and I think because your picture of your profile picture used to be a baby on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's what it means, though. He says, that's what it says here. Please tell Adam that, and then it said that he'll know what it means. So there you go, Stevie J. Didn't let you down. All right, get in this stream.
Thanks,
now.
Stevie.